Hey everyone, and welcome back to another Tesla weekly video for today. I hope you're all having a wonderful weekend so far. So I did something. I bought Tesla shares for the first time in a while. I'll explain in this video why, despite all the negative sentiment, why I decided to dip my toes back into Tesla. Well, dip my toes back in. I always had a position, but now I am starting to add a little bit more. And I'm fully aware that we can go lower. Fine by me. Anyways, right now, we can see that the drawdown is quite close to 40%. So basically what has happened is, well, we gave back all of the gains that we got after the election, which, as you know, I never fully understood what the heck was going on there. Even after the earnings report, stock went even higher. Never made any sense for me. If you don't believe me, just watch the previous videos. I said nothing really changed that much for the business. Yes, it's true that the outcome was much better for Elon and for autonomy and regulations and all of that, fine. But fundamentally, from the business standpoint, nothing really changed just yet. And so I'm not surprised that we're giving back all of these gains. It took a little bit longer than expected, but fine by me. Now in today's video, we're going to go over the numbers out of China, United States, European countries as well. You've probably already seen all of the negative headlines. There are some positive things out there as well. I'm going to touch on a couple of other announcements throughout the video, so stay tuned for all of that. If you enjoy this type of videos, hit all the buttons, would really appreciate that. If you want to support me even further, do check out the link down in the description and in the pinned comment with the top 10 best stocks to buy now, or go to fool.com/couchinvestor. Thank you very much. So as always, we start off with the Tesla China weekly insured number. This sheet is available to all the members of the channel. If you don't want to become a member, that's fine as well. You can just watch the videos for free each and every week. So the number came in at 12,400, which means that right now we're quite close to 70,000, which of course is much lower than the same time last year. We were at 77,200, but now we are having the Model Y refresh, which is also why you're seeing that huge jump from 6,900 2 weeks ago to now 12,400, which is still 100 units less than a year ago, same week. But we are starting to ramp up the Model Y refresh production. And I think in the next couple of weeks, we're going to see that number go up quite drastically. As for wholesale in China, the number in February is basically slashed in half from the one in January. And again, I'm not surprised. As predicted last week you can see here the split between Model 3 and Model Y. Last week, Model Y was basically, well, close to zero. And look at this. 1 week later, the split is already 50-50. So here right now, lots of media outlets don't want to acknowledge the fact that the best-selling vehicle had a refresh, slowing production, basically not producing anything for the last couple of weeks, people waiting for the new model to come out and to pick them up. And so that's why we're seeing huge negative impacts. Of course, yes, there is also a political shtick to it. I agree and I admit that. But the biggest impact is definitely a refresh Model Y. Now at the moment, we can see for the United States, the numbers for February came in at 44,000, a bit less than January and less than a year ago in February. Interestingly enough, Tesla did sell over 8,600 cars in Canada during the final days of the ISEF rebate fund. Isn't that interesting? Moving to some select European countries, UK, Norway, Netherlands, Sweden, Denmark, Italy, Spain, Switzerland, Czech Republic and Iceland, they make up around 60% of the overall sales in Europe. So yes, this excludes Germany and France, although Germany is not even the biggest market for Tesla anymore and hasn't been for I think a couple of months now. The number for the week came in at 2,200, which is a bit less than a week ago at 2,400. But the big thing and the big news that nobody really wants to talk about, because it's much better to talk about the negative stuff, and that's the Tesla sales in the UK. As you can see, much better than the same period last year, right? I think it's up 21% or so year over year. Not bad, huh? Not bad. But if we look at Germany, we're down 70+% year over year. So definitely not good in Germany. Although I did see a couple of videos and people picking up the new refresh Model Y, because that started, I believe, on Thursday or Friday. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see if sales will be picking up with the refresh in Europe starting. In the Netherlands, we're also down year over year. a bit of the same as in January. The number for February was 983. In France, the number came in at 2,395, much better than in January, but still fewer than a year ago. So if we zoom out a little bit and we look at the European countries, the same list as before, we are starting to see that number pick up a little bit. And this is despite not having the refresh Model Y. I fully expect to see an acceleration in the coming weeks. Now you might say, I'm naive, wishful thinking, coping, whatever you want to say. Okay, maybe you'll be proving right, maybe not. I'll admit if I'm wrong, but I think I'll be right. Moving to the other part of the world, we have here South Korea. Well, not surprising, huge increase, of course. 2,222 Tesla sales in February. Well, haven't really been selling that much previously, so that's what we're getting here, but still a very big number, all things considered. Moving to Japan, same thing here, nice increase year over year. The number came in February at 500, so compared to South Korea, Japan still very small. And this, of course, is also just to show you that Tesla is not yet available in all of the countries around the globe, right? If you look at India, for example, pretty big market overall, although the average selling price there is quite low. But India is a big market that Tesla is or will only start to sell into it later this year, hopefully sooner than expected. But as you can see with Japan, with the likes of South Korea, these are big markets, all in all big markets. And it's still early days there. So yeah, it's true that in Europe, in some select European countries, sales not that great. In China and in other countries, I think sales are still quite okay, and I think we're going to see a solid acceleration in the coming weeks and months. And this is, of course, without the new, more affordable model that should come out in the first half of 2025. What will that be? Let's be honest, nobody knows. One camp think this is just a stripped down version of a Model 3 and Model Y. The other camp think that this is going to be the Cybercab with a steering wheel. I don't know. What do you want? Do you want option A or do you want option B? Let me know down in the comments section below. We've also seen some, well, maybe it has already popped up in this video, I don't know. But we've also seen some new clips of the Tesla Semi. And yeah, believe it or not, the Tesla Semi is a big deal for me. Well, for the Tesla thesis as a whole, Tesla Semi is going to be huge from a selling standpoint, but also from FSD, right? Truck drivers that would be able to enable FSD. I mean, I think this would be a game changer for them. If you're one of those truck drivers, let me know if I am wrong. But yeah, we have new affordable model that should come out later this year. Tesla Semi ramping up, starting production later this year. Oh yeah, Megapack Factory. The third Megapack Factory that popped up in the earnings call and nobody really cared to ask. Well, apparently it's been built in Texas. So, okay, that's another interesting thing that will happen, another positive catalyst for this year. And then, of course, we have full self-driving and Optimus. With Optimus, I think we're going to get a big update later this year, whether it's through a video or a full-on event, remains to be seen. FSD release, well, FSD demo, I should say, paid rides in Austin. Let's see how that goes, if it's on time, if there are no issues, etc., etc. So in my eyes, there are quite a lot of catalysts that's going to happen in the next coming months and quarters. It's true that sentiment right now, if you look at the stock, not great, right? Not great. We've been week after week going lower and lower and lower, right? We took the rocket, the Starship on the way up, and then, well, the Starship on the way down as well. Hopefully the booster did get caught here at the uptrend line. I don't know, during the live stream someone said that it did rebound on the 786 Fibonacci line or what, I don't know what that is, so I'm not even going to pay that much attention to it. But yeah, I started buying 250s. Can it go lower? Yes, of course, it can always go lower. If we look at the daily, we can see that it did fill that gap from the election, but there is another gap which is a bit lower than that. The gap that starts is at around 40 all the way down to $220. Could we go lower? Like I said, we can. On the daily, we're also oversold. So I thought, might be a good time to start adding back a little bit. Could get burned, but to be honest, it's a long-term thing for me. It's already a pretty big position in my, well, two portfolio, the public one and the core portfolio. So I don't really care that much. And that's why I've waited so long to add back a little bit to my position. Have you been buying more Tesla shares? Let me know down in the comment section below. I think I'm going to be laughing quite a lot in the next coming weeks when the narrative changes because of the Model Y ramp up. But of course, I don't think we're going to see that many headlines when that happens. So anyways, that's all I've got for you right now. If you enjoy this type of videos, leave it a thumbs up, subscribe if not, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye bye.